game about a million different things that is not the posthumous investigation, just because it's not a very easy to remember name. Alrighty, we've got a lot to do again. I was also looking at my percentage just before I started this here recording. And we're about 48% of the way through. So not too far in the whole scheme of things. I want to just quickly check my journal as well. Who besides Chris could get my information about this? Okay, so we want to go talk to the guy at the harbour. What's his name? Bob. We also may want to give him the number stuff. Because we know that there's number... Oh, what's on here? I could never imagine there was so much junk under this tiny workbench, but there's nothing I might need at the moment. Ah, and... oh yes, we have listened to Thingamajig up here, haven't we? Yes, we have, yeah. Alrighty. He just talks about, what is it exactly? I think he talks about being crazy. Alrighty, let's have a look. Cottram, what do you think about these barrels? Mr. Cottram, I came to know about a shipment that some people here at the carnival were trying to hide. However, it was only molasses barrels. For what reason were you acting so suspiciously with this shipment? They're Chris's business. If you want to know more, talk to him. I'll tell you this, he has nothing to complain about. The operations are guaranteed. Operations? What operations are you talking about? Well, hold on. If I spill out like that, I will end up with no job. Now, if I want a pretty penny in the animals game, that wouldn't be a concern. I could even snitch on Chris's operations. Really? And what is this animals games? Oh, if you're not in the animals game, I'm the one who's going to tell you. Good luck. Okay, I have faith you're going to win and we're going to talk again. I hope you're right. I had a dream last night and I'm sure it'll be a donkey day today. Okay, so he wants it to be a donkey day. I do know where the animals game already takes place. I've seen it played at the, what's it called? Not the harbour, the other place. Let's quickly grab this. Maybe we can get him to bet lion by seeing the lion at this. Seeing a lion as the number when he does this over here. And seeing... I think that's probably the answer. Yeah, spook these out. To be able to show the lion. And then make this a lion number. But I don't know what the lion number is yet, so we'll find that out soon. What are you doing here, Professor? Also, you want to let me in on a little secret? Oh, have we eavesdropped on this conversation? I don't think we have. Let's have a listen. Doctor? I mean, to what do I owe the honor of your presence? I can see you're somewhat anxious. I can suggest a treatment at my institution. No, thank you very much. By the way, did you consider my proposal? This is precisely the reason for my honorary presence. We can classify this situation as a classic IP. IP your plans? I beg your problem. What does that mean? It is an irrefutable proposal. Well, there's no option but to accept it. So do we have an agreement? Positive. I'll get one of the rooms ready for you. Ah, so he's inviting him into the good old mental hospital. Okay, now where does he go from here? That's a good question. Let's have a look at... Maybe he goes to the Casa Verde. Because we can't get in here at the moment. Can we? He's not here. So we need to figure out a way of being able to get admitted to the Casa Verde. What else? Yeah, let's bum around the industrial block for a minute. Just to see what's here. Well, I know that the animal game takes place here. You can also have a bit of a chat to Thingamajig. See if... yes, hello. Eva, to see if she's got anything that she wants to tell me. now. Yes, we got 2 things to talk to. Miss Eva, I have all the information needed to point out to you who's the infiltrator. I found out he has a scar on his face, always wears a black beret, and joins the strike early in the morning. You've just given me a general description of every striker in here. Come on, tell me who the size is. It was, oh. This is asking me to remember what I did last week. Was it Geraldo? I'm pretty sure it was Geraldo. Yeah, Geraldo. Geraldo is the infiltrator. Can't be him, he doesn't even get to our meetings on time when we're playing out his myths. So I don't think he completely understands the language yet. Louise. Right. Manuel? Maybe it was Cosme. Manuel, yeah. I think it was Cosme. Cosme is the infiltrator. Cosme? He's been truly acting a bit suspicious lately. He's been accusing others of doing things that they didn't do, and he is absent during the day at odd times. Please bring Cosme over here. I need to talk to him. He's given up his duties, but a network of contacts will bring him over here real quick. Oh, here he is. Yes, this is Cosme. This is who I knew it. Cosme, how disappointing. Are you backstepping your fellow workers? You're working for Lobo as an infiltrator. Me? This is nonsense. End the scam immediately. Tell me the truth or I'll tell the other fellow workers that you're a traitor. Take this chance, Cosme. I bet your comrades will not be so forgiving. Gulp. Fine, I confess. But don't tell anybody else. I don't fear what they do to me, but rather the fact that they might not see me in the same way. I no longer see you in the same way, but I won't say a word. However, I need you to tell me everything. What information did you share with Lobo? I told Lobo where you will be at every moment of the day. This is how Lobo plans his actions in advance. Today he intends to take you to Casa Verde and restrain you there. I don't want this to happen to you. If I didn't need the money so much, I'm sorry, Miss Eva. Don't try to soothe your conscience by giving excuses, Cosme. What else is Lobo planning to do? Lobo has also asked me to find out who is providing financial support to the strikers. There we go. He suspects that Miss Eva is receiving money from a rich patron, but no one knows who he is. But I've never found this information. It seems like a supernatural being. There's someone stuck in a situation that is also supernatural. I believe in you. Don't be silly, there's nothing supernatural about it. Listen, Cosme, I won't tell the others you're the one, but only out of consideration for your family. From now on, you'll be in charge of removing Lobo's posters around the city and will take on the risks of this role. Don't think I won't be keeping an eye on you. Don't mess up again or else you'll face the consequences. Of course, Miss Eva, I won't disappoint you again. Thank you. Thank you! Now, who is the benefactor? Tell me. Seems to me your organization is in danger, especially if Lobo finds out the identity of your sponsor. Ha! That will never happen. If I did suspect Cosmo's behavior when I sent the messenger to our sponsor, but since they're very discreet, I have no concerns. Is it possible that Bearz is a sponsor? Don't be foolish. My sponsor is the opposite of men like that mister and the pool of leeches he belongs to. Maybe it's a woman. By opposite mean you mean a woman? Is a sponsor a woman? Of course she's a woman. Why are you surprised? No, Miss Eva, by no means. Don't even try to explain yourself. That's exactly what to expect from all of you. Ivy knows she's doing all she can to aid us and bring you all down. And she's very brave. In sponsoring our cause, she's putting herself at great risk. I think I know who it is. And I can definitely tell who it is now. Based on the portrait there. She must be the person with some sort of relevance in society if she has the means to keep herself in the shadows. She supports us anonymously to protect herself against elite big shots like Bearz. Very clever of her, whoever she may be. And where is this discreet person? You must be very naive to think I would give up an information that was one of our own just like that. Well, what do you have to lose? After all, I'm giving you valuable information. You're working for an enemy of our cause. What do I have to lose, you ask? So much. If you had followed our messenger, you might have just found the place. But it is too late for you, Detective. I sent him earlier, and he is where he needs to be. Only if you could travel back in time, you would find that address now. So forget it. I wish traveling back in time was possible. That would be very nice, wouldn't it? I can ask her about the workers' strike sponsor. I would like to ask you about a set of mail, Miss Eva. Letters you would have written to Bearz Cubus. What could you tell me about them? How did you know about these letters? They're personal. What do they matter for your investigation? Yeah, contact considers Bearz only, the man they were written to. They may have been written from Cuba, Miss Eva, but the mail never arrived. He never got your letters. I'm not sure whether you're aware of this, but Cottram, your uncle, stopped them from ever getting to Bearz. Cottram always opposed to your relationship. Never arrived? That explains some things. Rich, madman, rogue, how dare Cottram meddle in our relationship like this? The nerve! I suppose he was looking after you. Looking after me? Cottram ought to worry about his own problems. He's got more than enough of them. Let's see whether he'll like it if I meddle in his private affairs. Cottram is drowning in debt, detective. He recently received an ultimatum from the company that was hired to chase him down. Oh, really? And I thought I had problems. These debts are the biggest proof of his lack of control. If you want to know, Cottram might be a big man, but he was never a great man. My uncle could have done something to Bearz. He doesn't have the brains, but he's strong enough to have done so. I believe you, Miss Eva. Thank you for the information. Oh, we're getting a lot today. Very handy. Okay, they're doing the strike at the moment. What else can I do? There's Bookie. Can I ask him about the animal game? And yeah, we could wait around for the animal game to start, I guess. Or see actually who talks to this Bookie here. Or when Cottram shows up. Here's Cottram. Cottram, my dear boy, what are you bidding on? Oh, okay. So we don't actually get to see what happens at the animal game too much. Maybe it's because we haven't found out that that is the animal game yet, but it definitely is the animal game. I really just want to find out. I'm actually going to leave, Bearz. Oh, fine. I'll tell you what I found out. A word from Eva on Cottram. What did she say about that thug? I'll be surprised if she did. Sorry about that. Anything incriminating about him? My uncle could have done something to Bearz. He doesn't have the brains, but he's strong enough to have done so. Would you look at that? Who would have thought? This is very impressive. I know very well what a great woman Eva is. She doesn't lower herself down to lies and subterfuge. Nonetheless, Cottram is her own uncle. First, his own wife insinuates the possibility that he was a criminal. Now his niece, Cottram's little forklift operator, seems more and more to be dirty with my noble blood. But we must proceed with caution. Let's stick to the facts. Eva told us about Cottram's financial situation. The imbecile drowned in debts and was being pressed by the collection agency. Therefore, Cottram had motive to want me dead. Being married to my sister, that will mean access to a heritage as big as the nape of his neck. However, there is a complication with this story. The letters Eva wrote me. Yes, I know. I should have been a quieter man, but I thought I would have time for quietness after I died. Yet here I am, turning in my grave, or better yet, turning Rio de Janeiro up. But let's continue. Now we know that Cottram, the wench, hid the letters Eva wrote from me. Yes, we do know that. Naturally, that Eva, knowing about it, would cast her uncle in a negative light if she had strong feelings for me. And I know very well the effect I have on women. And if Eva's feelings were strong, she might even want to incriminate Cottram as an act of vengeance. We must continue this investigation, detective. We've matched no closure yet, and it is necessary that we follow this plot to its end. And what else? So we could probably close off Cottram now, but I don't really want to do that yet. Seems like we have a new statement, isn't it, detective? Who are we talking about? What is it? We're not sure? Well, alright, that's a little unusual, but I won't let such a thing stop us. Who gave the statement? Oh, Eva? Very well, let's hear the statement. She supports us anonymously to protect herself against elite big shots like Bearz. Indeed, a mysterious statement. I believe that Eva involved with that bunch of hooligans is referring to the strikers. So, whoever she is talking about is also the sponsor, one of the leaders of the strike. Yep, that's true. I couldn't help but notice that Eva referred to the subject as her, a feminine pronoun. We're talking about someone who identifies as a woman then. Hard to say more. After all, the trade unions and labour parties have the unfortunate tendency to attract every sort. Who could be Eva's secret collaborator? What could be a motivation to stay in the shadows? Could her anonymity be the perfect trump to commit murder without raising any suspicion on herself? I recommend you continue your investigation. If we uncover the identity of this benefactor, we may be able to develop this line of inquiry. Interesting. Okay, let's go. Let's make the fee worthwhile, sure. Come to think of it, we've already made this fee worthwhile by continuing to do the same day over and over. Let us quickly go over to the industrial subdivision and see where this messenger goes. Come on, industrial. Alright, now let's see. So the... Yeah. Hey, here. Okay, let's eavesdrop. Hey you! Your services are required. I have a message. Whatever happens today, don't expose yourself. Our cause are bigger than me. This is an important message, huh? Share the codes with taxi drivers and make sure that you're not being followed. I consider it done, Eva. Okay. So the taxi drivers are in on it. So let's see where it goes next. Okay. Let's eavesdrop on him. He's good. Hey driver, listen carefully. Together we'll march downtown. I got it. I'll take you there. Okay, so he's gonna go to downtown. So let's go to downtown together with him. That's an easy enough code. Here he is now. Where does he go next? That looks like him, right? I'm not just going crazy. Alright, let's follow him. And he goes this way next. This is where he gets punched in the face, right? Roughly around here. Eavesdrop. Hey you, I have a message for you. We are like the ocean breeze. Sure thing, boss, on the way there now. The ocean breeze, the harbour, perhaps. Let's go there. Perfect. Yes, he is here. Let's wait for him to start moving. Oh, he's gone. He's just disappeared. He went into the fraternity. Okay. Well, we might have to follow that journey next time. Isn't the only way out of the harbour is here? Oh no, there he is. Where's he gone now? Or where is he gone? Aha, we can still eavesdrop on him. I wonder what happened at the harbour. Phew, these stairs would kill me. Taxi, here. There's something I must tell you. No wannabe nobleman can stop us now. Fast as possible, buddy. Alrighty. So let's go to the noble house in that case then. The noble's park. Let's see what we can find there. Get a little bit of information in. Alright, let's just quickly tab at this so that as soon as he starts running, I can run too. Here we go. Alrighty. I wonder if that actually takes less time or if it doesn't. Alrighty. Let's eavesdrop. This one must be where he actually delivers. Hello, is there anyone here? I bring a confidential message. Here it is. Whatever happens today, don't expose yourself. Don't worry about me. Our cause is greater than me. See you next time. So that's the lady. So we can perhaps... You are the workers' strike sponsor. I know you. You're here to talk about the strike. Come on, tell me the code. Well, here it goes. Together we'll march downtown. We are like the ocean breeze. No wannabe nobleman can stop us now. Fine, come in. There we go, perfect. And this is the lady. Hello, ma'am. I'm looking into the death of Bearz. I came to see you because your friend Eva told me that you are afraid of reprisals from the city's elite. And because of that, you remain anonymous in your philanthropic endeavours. So let's just sit to the facts, alright? In decisive words, may I ask what I've done to deserve such objectivity? It must be quite the challenge to find me. I suppose you want to enjoy it, won't you? Believe it or not, ma'am, this is my job. I'll enjoy it when it's done. We shall see. My name is Capito Santiago. You may have heard it, or maybe you didn't. I have not heard of you, Capito, but... So she's the one allied to the strikers, but I have seen you before. Certainly. I'm many things to many people. You'll find that out soon enough, if you haven't already. I'm good at finding things out. Are you now? Mr. Investigator here is probably used to being on top in charge of the questioning. I'm never used to being on top, lady. Things shall be a little different with me. Alright, let's interrogate. Tell me what you know about Bearz. I have the feeling you want to touch on a delicate subject, Mr. Investigator. Can we talk about something else? But you don't even know what I'm going to ask. Anyway, I want to talk about Bearz. What can you tell me about it, ma'am? I knew it. To be honest, talking about Bearz makes me a little uncomfortable. He was close to my family. Lately, however, I must say that his presence became weary, tiresome. How close were you? How close? See, he used to come to our residence during some of our guest receptions. I felt some hesitation, as if you were trying to hide the fact that you were actually close, as if it was merely a party guest. What should I believe, Miss Capito? It's not that. Of course Bearz was more than a party guest. He was a friend of the family. It's just that his conversation reminded me of his son Ezekiel. He would always entertain us all by imitating Bearz, and we would laugh so hard about it. Ezekiel would miss Bearz. No, really. What do you mean by a weary presence? You didn't meet him, so you should know that Bearz could be very stubborn. His insistence in bringing up matters from the past really got on my nerves at times. No, I've noticed that entirely. I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. He's going on all about his death right now. Why are you looking at me, Investigator? Are you trying to read me from your expressions? Don't you know that you can't read a book by its cover? No, but I wish you'd talk about yourself. Of everything there is to know about me, you either know it already or you shouldn't know it at all. I'm a woman like any other. I may have friends and connections in high places, but I'm also a woman of the people, involved with the causes of the common men. Speaking of which... I know. You'll ask me how I can belong to high society and still be involved with the strike, won't you? There's no contradiction in doing the right thing, Investigator. I agree with that. Being part of high society gives me the means to contribute to the emancipation of more people. I wish more rich people would do that. It makes sense, and Besides, knowing the stops of the elites allow me to be one step ahead of them. By now, I'm sure you'll realize I'm very good at it. You sure are. You don't have to make that face, Mr. Investigator. I know what you want to ask me. You do? You want to know about Eva. We only became friends recently, because the connection between us was almost instant. I only knew her from the news. Even with all the attacks she endured, I could see she was fighting for a just cause. So I made a point of meeting her. Now, ma'am, don't you think? Investigator, now you answer me this. What connects Eva to Bearz? I mean, aside from the attacks he made against her, she was clearly the victim in this situation. Bearz and Eva had a romance in the past. She did? That can't be. She wouldn't hide this from me. To my knowledge, Eva was married to Dr. Becamate, another one of Bearz many enemies, who at this point was an enemy to this man, am I right? So that's Dr. Becamate. The name that literally means blunderbuss. He's not sounding like an easy to handle type. So maybe we can ask at the mental hospital about Dr. Becamate. About Becamate, is it? I guess you want to know more about him. You're right, Peter. I don't know him personally, dear. However, the stories I hear about the doctor are true. I believe I don't ever want to meet him. And you shouldn't either. Be careful with him. Okay, I will. Do you hear that, Investigator? Is that a melody? Where is that coming from? Someone tells me we'll talk about something or someone involved with music. Am I right? You are. What can you tell me about Sophia? What can I tell you about Sophia? That I admire her greatly. I'm even proud of her. You're very JoJo-esque, aren't you? Proud? And the next thing you're going to say is, some people are destined to leave a mark on life, Investigator. Even when we can only be an accessory in this achievement, we also feel alive. Don't you think? I know you'd like to ask more questions, but we're done for now. Alrighty, fair enough. Oh, it's the man at the thing. I can see you have a visitor. I know this face you're putting on. Don't be jealous, my dear. And here's the person that he punches as well. He's investigating Bearz's death. Bearz. He's the talk of the town, and it doesn't seem to be any different here in my house. I don't think I'm happy about this, and it all feels much harder with our son Ezekiel so far away from us. I talked to Padre Cabral earlier today, and I found proof that he's been well taken care of. Of course he is. I spent a great part of my life in that seminary, and I was educated the best way possible, except for your paranoia and insecurities. Benethio, Benito? I don't want our son to get his education so far away from us. I'm not sure why you insist on it, but I want him back. And if I have to go and bring him back myself, I'll do it. You and your impulsiveness, and you're a self-absorbed loner, Dom Casimiro. Bye. Bye-bye. Are you gonna punch me now? What about you? Have you lost your mind? Shove off. Sure. I'll get out of here. Now that you're gone. She's waiting for what's his name? I can go talk to Crispin now. I know what he's doing here. Yeah, he's well, I'm gonna pick some flowers here while I'm here. Crispin, don't tell anyone, alright? No taxi rank over here. So let's go back this way for the taxi. Let's quickly see if I can give these flowers to a lady at downtown. If not, that's fine too. Let's quickly run across. She starts her show in an hour. So I think that we've probably already, yeah, we've missed out. Okay, on giving her flowers. So that's a bit disappointing. What else can we possibly do today? We can probably go over to... Let's go over to the industrial block just to look at animals again and see if we can talk to Crispin about animals perhaps. Now that he's... Oh, no one's here to do animals today. Interesting. Or right now, I suppose. Maybe I've already missed it. What else? That's a bit out. So we probably don't have too much that we can do at the end of time here. But let's have a quick look at the Casa Verde. Just someone who'd like to enter this establishment. Right. Yes, I've got this prize-winning flower. Oh, okay. Okay, so we need to figure out some item that lets us live in here. For the doctor. But in the meantime, I'll just, yeah, go to sleep. There we go. Perfect. What else can we... Well, I know a lot of what I can do. Yes, I'm leaving. Thank you. Let's have a look at our journal and see what we've got actually left to do in here. Because I imagine this will give us some clues. So we could also quickly go talk to the lady. The spy lady. Let's actually do that quickly. Nobles. Because this will give us the most information possible, probably. We can also talk to the other people down the street about her now. Nobody's answering. Alrighty. Well, let's leave. Let's quickly go talk to the other people down the street about her. This is Bearz house. Yeah, Quintus, I know. Goodbye. See you later, Quintus. Let me take some flowers now. Yoink. Grab those for later. Into this house. Yes, I'm looking for you. Come on in. Thank you, thank you. Have I got literally anything to talk to you about right now? No. Okay. Well, that was easy enough. Bye. See you later. I'll talk to you later. Let's wait for Rubiel to come over here. Rubiel, hurry up. There we go, thank you. Let me enter the door now. Yes, it's me. Let me in. Let's go quickly talk to him. Yes. Let's see if there's anything I can talk to him about. No. Alrighty, well, let's leave in that case. Goodbye, Mr. Rubiel. You again have not taken your meds. Okay, now let's go to talk to this new lady. See if she's here at the moment. No. Okay, let's leave in that case. Let's quickly see. Ah, there she goes. So let's knock on the door now. Yes. How did you know that I'm investigating Bearz death? You've got that JoJo ability. Right. But now she knows. Which she didn't know before when I was asking at a door. I'm not one to talk about faith, detective. I tend to stick to the material facts, but you were at the thing earlier. But I can make an exception for you. So will you tell me what you know about Padre Cabral? I saw him today, El Cabral, tisk. Padre Cabral is known for being very superior, even punitive. Did you know that my husband's late mother made a vow during a difficult pregnancy? Of course not, how would you? He vowed that should her son be born healthy, he'll be sent to a seminary to become a priest. So you married a priest? Ha! Funny, no, but almost. Or rather, perhaps our faith would have been different had he become a priest. It seems to me that the vow was not fulfilled. On the contrary, it was fulfilled all thanks to Bearz. The scoundrel already had his tricks back then. My future husband only had eyes for me and wanted nothing to do with becoming a priest. That was when Bearz suggested sending an orphan instead, arguing that in the eyes of the Lord all are equal. All parties were in agreement and the arrangement was made. To think my husband might have been in Padre Cabral's shoes. There's even a picture of the two of them together as children. Funny how some things never change. Ah, okay. Yes, I do see him now. We've also got some other people here. That is slightly interesting. Okay, tell me more about the childhood memories. Feel a little sentimental right now, Investigator. Feeling our next subject will be a matter of the past. Yes, I'd like to talk about that photograph of the altar boys. What did I tell you? But yes, the altar boys. I don't recognize everyone in this picture, but one of these children is very familiar to me. Ben, yes, it's him. Bearz is also there, looking inapproachable. Little did he know he would become even more so. Who's Ben? In detective movie, usually the hero lights a lady's cigarette. It's a chauvinist trope if you think about it. I don't know why, but this has just crossed my mind, Investigator. Are you going to ask me anything of that sort, mister? No. Yes, actually. I found a certain matchbox bearing the Midnight Club's logo. Have you ever seen one that fits this description? It's a little box. Oh, you must be talking about one of those merch items the Midnight Club used to give its customers. My husband and I used to go there a lot. Nowadays I go by myself, but I believe he might still keep some of those around. Poor Bentheo. Perhaps his karma was ending up as Bearz Cuba's lawyer instead. Hold it, did you just say your husband is Mr. Cubas's lawyer? Well, that's what I just said. Bearz Cubas was the main client of my husband, Ben Santiago. Ah, so now we can talk to Ben. This man definitely went through hell having had Bearz as his client. So he's no longer a Midnight Club customer. I mean, he doesn't accompany you anymore. And tell you just stumbled upon something interesting for your investigation. None to pretend that you're worried about my relationship. These days, Theo and I have grown even more distant. He's been isolating himself more and more. Ben has been acting weird. He seems he's been worrying about something these last few days. Probably about the death of Bearz Cubas. He's never at home. It says he spends his entire time in his office in the industrial zone. However, I have my doubts about that. Who was never suspicious of their husband or wife? What about the number in the box? How did you know there was a number in this box? I didn't even say anything. See, it's elementary. Simply another cliche in detective movies. Anyway, the number is 157. This time, dear investigator, I have nothing to say. Rings a bell, but it doesn't tell me anything. Right, okay. Since you came to me through Eva, I'll take it you have had access to the third issue of the Bearz. If you did, I also suppose you've read it and you know what it is about. Do you want me to speak about it, Investigator? I sure do. The labour movement has always suffered and will continue to suffer. Attacks from the elite and the press. But Eva never bowed down, and her strength is what motivated me to help her. And what was Bearz's role? Bearz, as everyone knows, belongs with the elite, and he's always been very inconsequential. His attack was personal, can't you see? Why else would he kill Eva, a heartbroken agitator, without even knowing that she was actually ending her marriage? She's ending her marriage? Then you believe it was a personal attack. By aiming at Eva's personal life, Bearz ended up hurting her cause. Who do Bearz think he was to expose someone else's personal life just to affect their cause? Ah, Bearz knew about the divorce, or did he just want to affect Eva's cause? None of this will weaken Eva's passion and dedication. She knows exactly what her goal is. And finally, the mysterious Diva's record sleeve. I take it you're here to talk about their record by a certain mysterious diva? That's precisely what I wanted to ask. After all, I found the sleeve at Mr. Kubas's mansion. What do you have to say about it? Bearz was very dear to me, but in life he truly held me back. I can tell you that the very existence of this record was a threat to the life I lead today, so I'd rather not dwell on this subject. Fair enough, I don't blame you. Tell me about Ben. Well, what are we going to talk about, Investigator? Shall we talk about Ben, your husband? What can I say? He's rather quiet, doesn't like to show his feelings, he's often brooding. Despite all that, Investigator, it doesn't mean he's a cold man. Ben Tio made a huge sacrifice in order for us to be together. Deep down, he's a very sensitive man. What do you mean by sensitive? My husband puts on this tough guy act to hide his vulnerabilities, just like most men. I do not agree with that remark. Here, don't play dumb. I know you also play tough to hide your weaknesses. However, sometimes Ben Theo excessively reveals his insecurities, and that's what really worries me. Really? Among the things he does, what makes you worry the most? Investigator, don't think ill of my husband. Let's say he has a really hard time trusting people. Tell me about him representing Mr. Kubas. I believe that with such clashing personalities, it couldn't have been an easy relationship for them. In fact, they were opposites, but as unlikely as it might seem, things did work between them. Bearz and Ben Theo had known each other since childhood, and I can say that Ben Theo looked up to Bearz. They were almost best friends. Almost? The investigator must have heard of another mess caused by Bearz in the city, so you can imagine how it kept Ben Theo very busy. For this reason, I believe their friendship became strained with time, and eventually strictly professional. Okay, interesting. Well, we've certainly found out a lot now. Let's leave. Let's quickly grab some more flowers. I still don't know exactly what time the lady shows up at the noble's estate, but oh no, we have got flowers already at the club, but we definitely want to talk to her. Who else do we want to talk to? Probably the lady at the industrial block. Because we've still got a number of things to talk to her about, but she might have been taken away to the thingy by now. Yes, she has been. Alrighty. So let us go to the... You can also look at the bookie here. Yeah, you should be it. Instead of saying you are mine. Yeah. That's because you in today's beats are mashing and scratching. Maybe you should bet in the buck. Okay. Right, and Mr. Santiago, lawyer. Yeah, Caballero said her husband was it seems he's left already. Okay. So we can probably get here early in the day to talk to him. In the meantime, let's go to the downtown and have a quick look at the thingamajig over here. By the thingamajig, I mean here to be able to give her the flowers as soon as she arrives. When is she arriving? Sophia's arriving at 7. Okay. Let's quickly talk to her. Yellow. Alright. There we go. Perfect. I shall talk to you now, Sophia. I know that you have to go on stage in 2 hours, but I've got stuff for you. These are all of her gifts, right? Oh, yes, yeah. So I need to figure out a way to get into here. Tell me about... Have I got any clues to show you? Okay, I've basically talked to you about everything, so I'm glad I didn't come back here earlier. Mrs. Sophia, I heard the strike has a key sponsor. Would you know anything about her? Oh la la, mon cher. It seems that you're starting to meet important people. Not as well as I want to. But let's say that. Let's say that I know more about her than you imagine. What does that mean? Many things, monsieur. Um, if it weren't for her, maybe I wouldn't be here preparing myself for this performance. Her classes, and above all, her friendship were essential for my constitution as a singer. You know, some people have the gift of changing people's lives for the better. And for that, they're pestered by those who do the opposite. And who would these people be? Exactly. Why, these towns elite, of course. Oh, maybe apparently my client is part of that elite. These people think they know what art is, as if their silver spoons gave them their right. Just between us, don't bother her, please. She left her musical career by choice, and even so, certain people insist on bothering her. She had indeed a charming voice, and I don't condemn those who long for her return. But it was her choice, and we should respect it. So she must be the singer. Would you have anything to add about the elite of the city? Oh, mon cher, we can spare ourselves from talking about such despicable people. Tell me about you. How do you like my new song? Yes. Actually, I didn't hear it yet. Why, very few men are so sincere in front of me. Both of you, or maybe just naive. Well, maybe a bit of both. I think that is basically it for her. I don't have any items to talk to her about right now, but how are we going to get access to this room earlier in the day? Maybe we can figure that out. Chris, my good friend, you got anything to talk to you about? Okay. And I probably can't talk about her either. Okay, sweet. What's the time? 9? I think that we've already checked the bookie, right? And he's no longer here at 10. No. Probably Hernandez is no longer here. Santiago, yeah, is already here. What about the arbor? Because we know that these fellows end up at the harbor very soon. To leave. I also want to see what he thinks about animals. He also knows about Dr. Bacamarte. Could you tell me about Dr. Bacamarte? If you know a thing or two about the man. Bacamarte is family, or almost that. He's married to my niece Eva, or used to be. These things are so confusing these days. He's the owner of Casa Verde, where no one in Rio de Janeiro wants to end their days in. How was the relationship between Bearz and Bacamarte from your point of view? If the two exchanged barbs in the past, then again, who didn't Kubas irritate? Bearz criticized Casa Verde. He liked poking the bear, so he poked the most dangerous bear in town. Speaking of that fight, I carry a copy of the newspaper The Buzz, in which Bearz badmouthed Casa Verde. Really? Is he that important to you? As if. I won a horse race bet and kept the newspaper because it showed the results. You know how that works, don't you? I keep it as a charm. I have it here with me if you want to see it. But you can't take it with you. This one is mine. That's fine. I don't need to take it with me. I just need to take a look. Casa Verde, asylum or dungeon. A beautiful field south of the city now hosts a big, at a place, an ugly piece of decor. You can even say that it's a hospital, but if we take a closer look, we can see watchmen, bars, and locks. I ask you, dear reader, have you ever been in a hospital with decorative elements that resemble middle-aged dungeons? Also, have you know that most of our healthcare budget is going to this hospital? Or should we call it a prison? Interesting. Well, that's certainly good. Mr. Cottram, I would like to discuss some hairy subjects like with you. No offense. What do you want, huh? Mr. Cottram, I have reasons to believe that you are facing some financial difficulties. Coming from someone like you, who is a part of a wealthy family such as Bearz, it's hard to believe. Bearz? What does this have to do with Bearz? My businesses are my own. I don't know why you're mentioning Bearz to me. Well, Bearz might have been a difficult person, but he helped his kin. Unless there was a reason for him not to want your well-being. Perhaps there was a quarrel between you. I remember a hatred meeting between you in which that poor mailbox played the fiddler. Isn't that right, Mr. Cottram? Bold to say that to my face. That was nothing. Bearz could take that. But Bearz and I, real men, settle things like this with our fists. That was nothing, you say, huh? Wasn't it really? Because apparently in your last bonding session you threatened Kubas's life. Your own boss, the businessman Chris Straw, told me this about that day. At the end of the fight, Cochran threatened to kill Bearz. I feel like I'm surrounded by savages. You better mind your own business if you know what's good for you. It's only family matters. Bearz is family. Does it matter how we settle things in my family? Maybe it does. And speaking of family, I've collected a testimony about you from someone who knows you very well. Your own wife told me this. Fights are common in all families, but Cochran will never hurt Bearz. Accidents happen, though. Sabina said this? Control yourself, Mr. Cochran. This is your wife we're talking about. Control myself? You're the one who's losing control with this bathering. Maybe I can help you control yourself and shut up, or you can speak yourself and leave. What do you say? Seems that when it's to control other people, your shiny head works very well. Like, for example, to stop your niece's letters from reaching Bearz. Enough, you heard me? Enough. Stop involving my family in this. If you stop now, I'll leave you to talk without needing a straw to eat. Well, you can break me apart. My investigation is more important. Besides, tomorrow I'll be whole again. What? Nothing. Use any force you want. I'm not going to use force. You know what's worse? I know what's worse. You're right. Am I ashamed of hiding the letters? I am. Do I regret hiding them? Not at all. I did what I did to protect Eva from Bearz. He was a skinflint. I only thought about himself. I think I understand you, Cochran. But you know what that resulted in? She found out anyway, by other means. She found out? And how did she react? Her reaction was negative, naturally. She told me the following about you and your possible fault. My uncle could have done something to Bearz. He doesn't have the brains, but he's strong enough to have done so. Was it you, Cochran, Bearz murderer? Could it, more than a mailbox, have been destroyed in these disagreements to finally put an end to the man who meddled in all the aspects of your life? My own niece suspects me? Well, if that's how they see me, take me if you want. I think I'll do less harm to the world behind bars. I know I'm not smart. All I have is muscles. That's why I ended up involved in busts and hustles to pay my debts. I wish I could provide for my family without arms. To hell with Bearz' inheritance. But why is accepting Bearz' help so bad? Bearz was unpredictable, paranoid, and selfish. Never thought about how the things he did would affect others. Never changed his ways. In the end, it's like this. I don't need that stingy guy's money. And you know what? I'll punch Bearz for free. Harsh words, Mr. Cottram. You've been through thick and thin lately, living on rage's edge, taking risks and making decisions that men in calmer waters wouldn't dare take. Your history of fighting and arguing, aside from the clear straight for Bearz Kubas's character, positions you as the author of this crime. Before that, Bearz, here you are. I might speak to you. Well, if it isn't my favourite brother-in-law. Bearz, I don't appreciate the way that you talked to Sabina earlier today. Oh, really, Cottram, as if you didn't have your own problems to take care of. You're one to talk because your life is so perfect. Seeing a married woman, can't you see the risk you're taking? I don't know, Bearz. All of this tension, one of these days you'll turn up dead in some alley. You speak as if you're not the only one dealing with loan sharks. That's what's truly dangerous, particularly regarding my sister's safety. As if you cared. See, Cottram, you could channel the interest you have in other people's businesses into what's happening under your own roof. Your absence could make Sabina turn her attention and affection elsewhere. For example, towards church. Oh, you foul mouth, take this. Oops, that was close. Close? You come here, you coward. Coward, you'll see what I'm cough made of, you brute. I'm not scared of a weakling such as yourself. And I'm not afraid of you. Oh yes, then take this. Oh. Imbecile, you destroyed the mailbox. Pictures your head in its place, you old fool. I'll smash your face, you. Hey, no, let me go. Let go of me, everything is under control. Bearz, you can't let me go, I need to punch this idiot's face. Bearz, you'll pay for this. If I see you again, I won't be responsible for my actions. But he did not see him again. So that's interesting. We know that he didn't do it. I see you advanced the plot. I sure did. It seems we got all we needed from Cochran, doesn't it, Detective? Yes. And what did this dimwit tell us? Come on, I'm anxious to know. I didn't know that stingy guy's money, and you know what? I'll punch you guys for free. You see that? He says he has no money for my resources, but we know that's a lie. As we've seen before, the poor man has collectors glued to him like stick barnacles on his ship. Besides, he's a man completely out of control who isn't trusted by his own wife, his family. I must confess, if we conclude that Cottram who murdered me, I'd be very disappointed in myself. I pity the man. But now I'm a dead man. Let the living take pity on me. Fair enough. We've reached the end of this story, didn't we? We still don't know who's guilty of murder, but no matter. As you well know, this is how investigations go. Let's do it this way. We'll continue some other time. I need to gather my thoughts before we take another step. Until I see you again, Detective. Thank you. I appreciate it. We didn't get to have a look at what the two cousins were doing, but we certainly found out a lot of stuff. We're at 40 in our like unlooked at stuff right now. No, we want to continue here for now. I want to go talk to Sabina very quickly. See if we've got anything more to talk to her. I know for a fact that we've got more to talk to the doctor about. So let's go talk to him quickly. Because we can talk to him about the guy. So, Dr. Becamati. Do you have anything to say, Mr. Becamati? Every person in Rio de Janeiro has something to say about Becamati. Why wouldn't I? He is a respectable man and extremely smart. However, some say that to achieve all his knowledge, he had to give up part of his balance, let's say. Anyone who hears you saying this might think he's a disturbed man. Maybe I shouldn't trust him. Is Mr. Becamati a worthy person? My boy, he may look out of it, but he's a rather methodical person who's against lies. He can even fool himself since he's human. But not lie, never. I have something very important to take care of right now. Excuse me, the man himself, Dr. Becamati. But we cannot talk to him yet because we haven't established that the person that looks like the silhouette is in fact that person. But maybe we can talk to the priest about Dr. Becamati. Yes, and Ben Santiago, for that matter, and the childhood memories. What else can you tell me about your past, Padre Cabal? I saw a photograph in the time you were at the seminary with Ben Santiago. Oh my dear lord, how did you get that relic? Who on earth knows where these people are now? I mean, except for myself and, well, let's leave it at that. Were you one of the boys in the photograph? Yes, it was me, but I don't like to talk about my childhood. Vanity is one of the 7 deadly sins, and this kind of rambling is still a form of vanity. Even though I was back then exactly who I am today, many things are buried by time, and for the better. Parish duties await me. May God be with you. Right, so then he talks to Sabina. So we talked about basically everything for these fellows now. Let's go see... Who do we want to go see? Fritz? At the harbour? Just in case. Oh, no, we want to continue here for now. I also want to go see Ben at the industrial district. We've already talked to Cottram. There's Chris in his office right about now. Yes, he is. Alrighty. Let's have a quick chat with him. Right. We've got the molasses information now, right? So we can talk to him about that. Tell me about the barrels of molasses. What goes on behind the scenes of the operation? Isn't that what a harbour does? Import and export products. The product was probably supplied and it was a demand that bought it here. I know the basics of economics, Chris. Mr. Chris is Mr. Chris Straw, Monsieur Shaw. And if you'd like more lessons on economics and finances, I may be able to help. I'm eager to find some students interested in my mentorship. So he's looking to scam some people. So we don't know where the molasses goes yet, and it's not here at the moment. So he gets it later on, which makes sense. Like we saw the doctor. Do you want to chat? No. Let's go to the industrial block and have a chat with the good old real estate agency, the lawyer, if you would. Hello. Ben Santiago. You're Ben, Bearz's lawyer, correct? If only I could be anyone else, but yes, this is me, Bren. Ben Santiago. Here he is, and I'll make him bend over backwards in order to solve this crime. Good one. You must be the bloody detective that is speaking you around and asking questions nobody wishes to answer. I've actually asked basically no one questions this morning. Oh yes, I'm the one. I'm glad you've heard of me, sir. Bearz has told me that should something happen to him, a detective would be hired immediately. Of course this would happen, right? It happens to us all sooner or later. Bearz is a bit paranoid about it, don't you think? If you lived in a perfect world where everything runs smoothly and nothing bad ever happens, I'd say Bearz was cautious, considering who he was and the sort of reactions he sparked off. As Bearz's lawyer, I bet you're willing to provide me with a few answers. You seem to be rather persistent in your intent. I shall allow you to do your job. How noble of you. Noble? I also have a few questions I need answers for. By the way, if you run into me out there, introduce yourself in an appropriate manner and I might be more willing to give you my attention. Noted. But let's get down to business. I have many regrets, and the shorter this conversation is, the less chance it is of becoming another one. Alrighty, well, that's true. Tell me about Bearz. As you know, I've been investigating the death of Bearz. What can you tell me about him? I've known Bearz for a very long time, detective, since time immemorial. I was a lawyer for as long as I can remember, and I've Bearz to thank for everything that I've accomplished. But then, at what cost? Was it hard work? I suppose a long-time client takes a great deal of your time. There is nobody else's business but mine, detective, not your business either. I was well paid, and I can tell you that, and my pay was progressively consumed with its damned complexity. My client's image was becoming increasingly less popular. That's so. Near the end of his life, Bearz had access to the bloody fraternity revote. A few months ago, that would have been unimaginable. Right. How did you get along with him? As well as with anyone else? What are you asking me that, detective? No reason, no reason. Bearz just didn't seem to be very easygoing. As you may have noticed, I'm not someone, so to speak, sociable. As I'm hardly interested in befriending any sort of person, Bearz's personality has never bothered me. The problem lies in the bloody questions that remain unanswered. Really? Like what? Can you tell me about yourself, perhaps? I'd like to broach a subject, one that would have many beneficial results, I should say. You're the subject, Ben. People are wrong to believe that they know themselves. I'd be deluded, detective, if I believed that we could talk about myself. I don't exactly have a complex or intense personality. Actually, we're all simple and shallow. Me, you. Please don't talk like that, Mr. Santiago. Don't get me wrong. Don't feel sorry for me. Besides, even if I could tell you about myself, I wouldn't do that. I know my rights, detective. I'm not obliged to tell anyone about myself. I need to go somewhere now. Please leave. So we can talk to him rather shortly. I do know kind of where he goes. Yeah. You should be there. The animal saying you are mine. I believe in your guessing all the money shall be yours, no less. Right. So yeah, this is indeed where they play animals. Can we talk to the strike workers now? Let's see if Eva's got anything to tell me. Eva? What do you have to say? Oh, we can talk to her about Capito and about Dr. Beckmarty. Miss Eva, what can you tell me about your friend, the strike sponsor? They're very important to me. We're friends. A person in my position has to be very careful about their friendship. Are you too close? You would say so. And yet, sometimes I get the feeling they're hiding something from me. But who doesn't have secrets, right? Then again, I'm always suspicious. It's hard not to be, thinking that way about everyone around me. But why am I telling you this? Tell me about Dr. Beckmarty. What can you tell me about him? Beckmarty is a man entirely dedicated to his job. Casaverde is his life and also his curse. How did this affect your life as a couple? The same way any obsession would affect any marriage. His total devotion to his work drove a wedge between us. We forged separate paths. Before long we had drifted so far apart there was no way back. And so our divorce was inevitable. Well, detective, it was nice chatting with you. Alrighty, well let's get out. I will not join in the strike this time. I do not want to go to the casa. Although, we perhaps could go to the casa. Do you reckon if we go to the casa now, we'll be able to see them bringing her in? That's a potential, right? Yellow. I have no items for you right now. Let's have a quick look at our stuff that we found out. Now that we've come here. Right, we've got more information about what happened in the day-to-day life of that. I already know how to find this doctor, yep. Ben spends the first hours of the day, yep. There's Sophia hiding inside her dressing room. We still need to find a key for her dressing room. Where does Chris live? There's a question. Eva can supposedly be found. Eva asked me to go. Where does the animals game take place? I know that. But I just don't know how to get that information. Alrighty, and we've had a look at all of those. Okay. What else information do we have? If we can show that to a third person who I do not recognize, we can show this to two people. Oh, they're just, okay. I know who I can talk to this about. Okay. Perhaps I can talk to certain people about these. Quite a few things left to say to people. What about items? Do we have any further interesting items? This is a medicine for Rube. No. Oh, the sandwich, right. And nothing else particularly interesting here. Okay, let's go. Well, let's wait, actually. Let's wait. Yes. So they do indeed go in. Not yet. Let's go back to the thing image again. Industrial block. And see the betting game take place. Because we know that Cotram eventually shows up here. We can't talk to anyone about this betting game though. When does Cotram show up? Because this is definitely where the betting game is. There he is. So here's the so-called animals game. Yes, you're smart, Alec, but don't attract too much attention. There we go. What number is the lion? Line 16. Bit with numbers and animals. I want to check out on that. So yeah, 16's the lion. You feeling lucky? Having a string of luck today. All the signs have shown me that the donkey will be drawn. How can you be so sure? Don't give me negative vibes or else I'll know who to blame. The result will come after 8 PM and let's wait. Yeah, so yeah. So I bet you it's lion. 100%. Because that's the one that we can actually... Yeah, we have a result and it's the lion. Yeah. Roar. So we need... What was it? The lion? I can't believe it. I'll still be broke. If I could convince him to bet on the lion, maybe I'll say something about Chris's operations. Told you not to bring me bad luck. Wait, I... Smack. Right. Yeah, easy way to get knocked out in here. Hello, detective. How's the investigation going? Stinking off dark alleys, listening behind doors. Yes, I have a lot of stuff to tell you right now. The beginning of a new investigation, detective. I can feel as if I already know what you're going to say, maybe because you and I are. Well, that hardly matters. Who is the target of our investigation this time? You and I are linked? Ben Santiago, my own lawyer? That doesn't make a lot of sense, my friend. Ben was my right-hand man. I pay him to get me out of jams, not in them. I mean, used to pay. Whatever, you are well aware of what I mean. Whoever put in your head that Ben might have been my assassin. Who was it? Capito. Oh, yes, Capito. Of course it is her. She's really good at putting ideas inside other people's heads. But what did she say to make you consider Ben a suspect, huh? Ben has been acting weird. Seems he has been worried about something these last few days. I see. Capito is Ben's wife. She has many a motive to know him deeply. But tell me, what do you do to make her open up to you like that? She can be very enigmatic when she wishes to, full of mysteries. What you talk to her about a matchbox? And what does this have to do with anything? Oh, I see. It was from the Midnight Club. Capito and Ben were regulars there. In its prime, recently I barely saw them anymore. Maybe you fired up an old memory? Who knows? What I know is this: Ben being worried about something is not enough motive to consider him a suspect. The rich is a lawyer. Strange it would be if he wasn't troubled all day long. However, Capito knows things. She may be insinuating something about Ben which we don't yet know. And what's more, I've always wondered to know if Ben was double-crossing me with his fancy lawyering. Let's investigate him, detective. Yes, better safe than sorry. Find out whether Ben had had a hand in my demise. Of course, proceed. And a statement from Capito about Eva. Capito isn't the type to pass judgment unless it carries great importance, but she, like Eva, mistook many of my actions mere defences of good morals and proper conduct, as attacked by the elite of the people. Right. Well, and what did Capito say? By aiming at Eva's personal life, Bearz ended up hating her cause. Capito can be infuriatingly invasive with her words when she chooses to be. So be it, let's focus on analysing our clues. End of marriage. Well, this is news for me. I didn't know she was getting a divorce. I hope you're not insinuating that in my article for the Bearz I was provoking her by alluding to our relationship. And she mistook it for a commentary on a divorce? Pure coincidence, but I see how that could have happened. Crimes of passion are a common thing nowadays. We live in a society fueled by childish sentiments. And Eva, above all, is still a child, prone, as all childs are, to impulsive, reprehensible acts. Let's continue our investigation into Eva, detective. If her heart remains as it once was, brimming with resentment towards me, what could possibly soothe such a heart if not an irreparable act? We must uncover the truth. And what about this other fact? Who's this again? Padre. Can men talk about things that are impossible for them to grasp, such as God? Or, incapacitated to talk about God, can they at least talk about a man of God, such as Padre Cabal? If for such presence is necessary, I know who had too much of it, Capito. Isn't it, detective? Capito, she whose eyes said it all, wouldn't like an overt truth about the Padre escape her. Padre Cabal is known for being very severe, even punitive. Severe and punitive adjectives much necessary to a separate people in this failed world. However, one must ask, what could have instilled such traits in this man? Could it be something indelible from his past? We know Padre Cabal got into priesthood early. He was just a boy. Yeah, this would be enough to justify the bitterness in his actions, but that wasn't all, was it, detective? Padre Cabal took charge of this role in the place of someone else. Could this be the source of the strictness? There may be other feelings? We must uncover this, detective. Who knows? Maybe the little priest's harshness comes from more dangerous feelings. And cruel ones? Of course, proceed. I told you. You know, Detective, I admire that you're still in this Investigator. So we begin here with a statement from Cottram. Very well, and what does the box porter Cottram have to say that could affect me? Bearz criticized Casa Verde. He liked poking the bear, so poked the most dangerous bear in town. Bearz doesn't bow down to anyone. It's me they should fear, not Bacamarte. Seriously. Even though being wrong is just another day for Cottram, he's not totally wrong. It's so externalized mode despise for Casa Verde in the Bearz issue 2. Just what any other citizen in their right mind should do. After all, who in their proper conscience, knowing about the atrocities that go on in that hateful place, could not criticize it? I certainly couldn't, and that's the reason for my criticism to that Byzantine institution. It's obvious to me that no one in this city grasps the truth of my words. They took my denunciation as personal attacks, mere provocation. But it is impossible to attack the barbarity that is authoritarianism without appealing to a reasonable outrage. Not for nothing, Bacamarte has considered me a detractor of his work. Right. Could this be enough for the doctor to plan my demise? He certainly believes that the ends justify the means, which could mean my end. Cottram is right. Bacamarte may have taken my provocation as a motive to want me dead. Let's investigate Bacamarte further. And what else? Oh, we've got a lot. Any updates on our elusive benefactor behind the stripe, detective? What have you uncovered? So we've uncovered the identity of our mysterious woman, have we? Really? And who would that be? Capito. Who would have thought? And to what do we owe the honour? Capito has always made me feel incapable, unprepared, inferior. It was as if she was always one step ahead of me. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you as well. That makes sense. After all, you're a mere protection of him. Back to the investigation. Who, then, is the one offering us more information on Capito? A statement from Sophia, the apple of the eye of Rio de Janeiro? And what does the diva have to say to us? She had indeed a charming voice, and I don't condemn for those who long for her return. What could Sophia possibly mean by this? Let's try to unravel it. Besides sponsoring the strike, the anonymous benefactor used to have a musical career and had a fundamental role in Sophia's development. We must deduce that what we have here is a relationship of mentor and apprentice. She also maintained her anonymity in her musical career. Surely she is a person of many mysteries. Yes, she's the mysterious singer, yeah. Also, Sophia says she doesn't blame the ones that long for her return. Many long for the return of the mysterious diva, me included. I even made my opinion known publicly. Hey, wait a minute, Sophia is referring to me, along with the subtle hints. Anyway, if those vocal longings were enough to provoke the mysterious diva, she would certainly have motive to wish me harm, wouldn't she? And from her position as an invisible figure, perhaps she had orchestrated my demise. Does that make any sense, detective? No, not really. Of course it does. Trust me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. No, you really don't. I'm certain that those closest to her will be able to shed more life into this enigmatic sphinx. Bloody hell. You say too many long words, Bearz. What's the hint? Oh, yeah. I know. You don't need to tell me, Bryce. I can make things say 16, and he can tell me about Chris. I've already deduced that long ago. But first, let's go talk to the new guy, Ben, and see what he's got to say. Now that we've come in here earlier, because we've still got a lot to talk to Ben about. And I know he's right here at the moment. There we go. We can also look at his desk. Let this pen describe the truth of our time. Respectively, Bearz Cubas. He's got a pen from Bearz, eh? Alrighty, I want to talk to you. Alrighty, and tell me about the matchbox. During my investigation, I came across a matchbox with the logo of the Midnight Club on it and some numbers written on the inside. Does anything come to mind? Do you think that my life is so miserable that I can waste time rattling on about matchboxes, detective? However bad things seem to be, they can always get worse. Well, this is no ordinary matchbox. It was found next to Bearz at the crime scene. Oh, I see. So unlike our surrounding universe, your question is not totally devoid of meaning. It looks pretty much like a matchbox that I myself handed over to Bearz once. We used to spend time together and this sort of thing was inevitable. And the number written inside the box, what does that mean? You know what? I don't remember. These bloody days keep running on a loop over and over again. I know that feeling. It's harder and harder to record this sort of ridiculous detail about the past. Okay. What about the mysterious diva? Mr. Santiago? Is there anything you'd like to share? Detective, is this related to the case whatsoever? Why, of all people in this trouble city, are you asking me about this record? Any special reason, or are you just torturing me with meaningless questions? Just asked you an innocent question. Nothing nor anyone is truly innocent in the history of our world, detective. There's deceit and malice even underneath the purest things. Right. What about the Bearz? I assume you're familiar with the newspaper The Bearz. Can we talk about its first issue? Oh, this regrettable publication is a hell of a headache. These bloody humanists. The whole rag was a huge mistake. Bearz's public image was already somewhat tarnished as he's been involved in politics. That bloody newspaper earned the reputation as a rowdy man. Did he? As if I didn't have enough trouble to handle. Yes, with that issue of The Bearz, this quarrel with Lobo Neves was put in the spotlight. Lobo Neves and Cubas always fought, yes, but deep down it was because they used to think alike. They were always fighting over the same interests. Bearz was sued for it, and I had to intervene. I vehemently attest that my client, the distinguished Mr. Bearz Cuba, is exempt from any blame for the words uttered in his newspaper, The Bearz. We managed to actually turn all our attention to a nefarious doctrine called humanism, the true culprit for corrupting and influencing his actions. Furthermore, I recommend that all material relating to this set of lunatics be destroyed. Some people would be happy to take on more work. This must have certainly increased your fees, am I right? If I was merely interested in financial matters, I wouldn't be in such dire straits. After so many years, all I had inherited from Cubas was a handful of secrets that I'd rather not know. Did you say secrets? Did I say secrets? Just a matter of speaking, detective. I never mentioned anything that could jeopardize my client's case, like adultery or access to hidden compartments through marble butts inside his residence, if you know what I mean. Aha. Well, we've found out something interesting. I would like to address the past, Mrs. Santiago. Heard that your mother had promised to God that you would become a priest. What the heck? What have I done to God to deserve such a misfortune? Tell me the truth of all the blame that I bear. Am I guilty whatsoever that Cabral took my place? I'm not sure. Are you? It was that infamous Bearz who had this idea. It was him! Cabral brutally resents the fact that he had to take my place in the seminary. Cubas is the one to blame. Mr. Santiago, has anything come to mind yet? Mr. Bean Santiago. Speaking of this God stuff, I remember I haven't got a confession in a long while. However bad my situation is, there's no harm in trying to improve it, right? A late afternoon might be a good time. If this damn God exists, he'll be tired of the sins people confessed earlier, and lighten up when he listens to mine. Okay. I guess today is the day I have to go to confession. Well, we will in a minute. This painting is rather intriguing. Maybe we can ask him about that in a minute. He's also got a big painting of his wife, which is certainly interesting. So late afternoon. You can also quickly go back to downtown. Grab the key, which I actually need to go to the bakery for. So let's quickly run over there. By the time we do all of this, it might be late afternoon already. Yes, I would like a bread. One bread, please. Thank you. Now let us leave and go to, oh, hello, Virginia. Is that your name? Virgilia? I can't remember. Hello, officers. Do you mind? Yes, can I show you this here cheese bread? There we go. Perfect. And can I find the key? Oh. Yeah. I do know. Now, let's quickly go into the pharmacy here. Talk to the pharmacist about potentially nothing. Alright. Well, let's leave in that case. Let's go over to the church. Have a look if we've got any confession going on at the moment. We do. We've already eavesdropped on this one, haven't we? No, it's Sabina, right. Let's wait until, let's talk to the priest actually. I think we've already talked to him about everything. Oh no, we have not yet. Let's talk to Ben. What can you tell me about Ben? The bit of guilt is borne by those who must bear it. Guilt? What do you mean? Did you do something wrong? My son, the sins of the faithful are protected by the secrecy of confession. What they confess to me is as if they told God himself. Right, what about Dr. Becamati? Didn't you tell me about Becamati? Why? Is he asking about me? Not necessarily. Should he? So, let's talk about something else, please. Their name gives me the creeps. Okay. Well, nothing too interesting about those two. Wonder if we grab the necklace now. I think that we've already probably shown the necklace to everyone that we need to show it to. But just in case, let's quickly speed up time to see when... Late afternoon is kind of now, Ben. You should be at the thingy. The only other time I can think is now-ish. Oh, there it goes. Hey, hello, Padre Cabal. It's been a little while since I last came to church and we had a chat, hasn't it? You, perhaps even more than I, know that life is one big trap. You're brought into this world and the people around you are decisions that steer you, whether you like it or not. And we still need to feel bad when we don't do good. And anyway, here we are, two men equal at last, each on a different side of these damn little bars. However, I heard that you've recently been put behind different bars, the ones at Casa Verde, am I right? Oh, really? Okay, not even God could save Padre Cabal from Casa Verde? It's a shame, Padre. It seemed more from a man equipped to deal with the forces of evil. Maybe none of us are good after all. Let us hope you haven't confessed too many of your sins during our stay. After all, a priest should be better at listening to confessions, not making them. Why are you here? Are you following me, young man? Are you talking a walk down memory lane alongside Padre Cabal, Mr. Santiago? You're bold. Now I see why Bearz hired you. If you came here to know about my past. Under the influence of Bearz, Cabral's face was sealed, and so was mine. Did you write everything down? Then get out of my sight. Sure, I will get out of your sight. Yoink. Goodbye, Santiago. Now, let us go to Nobles Park and go to the house. Yeah. Well, I want to go into the house, but Sabina's outside, so I can't. Yeah, I know, Cottram, you're going over that way. We can no longer influence Cottram because he's left already. But is there anything else that we can do in this area? No, not really. What about Nobles Park? Let's go to Nobles Park. See if we can talk to the lady or the man. Yeah, I didn't think you would be here, but you know, you never know. Rubiel. Can we also knock on this door? Oh yeah. They will both be in there at the moment. Can talk to the diva. It might actually be a fine idea. Though, actually, we have missed diva time now as well. What else can we do? Let's go to the harbor. And then have a look around where Cottram goes. Because he goes down here. And then he meets up his cousin over this way. It's totally fine. Yep, she's here at the moment. Let's talk to Virgilia. Hello, ma'am. Hello, I'm having a rough day, so excuse me, please. Yeah, I know. There we go. Let's eavesdrop now. Dear cousin, I hope you're not carrying your consciousness in your suitcases, because I think I might have broken my back. Do you really need to do that? I have no other choice. Lobo would never forgive me. Are you sure, Virgilia? Come on, I don't want to be emotional, cousin. Perfect. Let's go, Crispin. It is our time. Yes, of course, cousin. Alrighty. And then they leave on this boat, which I have already seen. Cottram, my good friend. Do you want to tell me quickly about anything? No. Alrighty. I wonder if I can, like, bring a little line for him so that he, you know, actually talks to me about stuff. There we go. Alrighty. We did get some information to tell Bearz today. That's always good. I enjoy telling you about stuff, my good friend. There's nothing like listening to a man of the law talk about a man of the church. Certainly Ben Santiago can help us better understand our holy suspect. After all, it was Cabral who became a priest instead of him. And what did Ben have to tell us about him? Under the influence of Bearz, Cabal's fate was sealed, and so was mine. At last my name surfaces in the story. It's about time I was beginning to lose interest. William bays me for Cabal's fate, and even for his own. And here I was thinking that faith and justice were guided by free will. Who would have thought, huh, detective? Nevertheless, I believe he couldn't fully exempt himself from poor Cabal's destiny. After all, Ben seems to have been taken by a strong desire to confess when he spoke to the priest, doesn't he? Yes. And what could be the true motion behind his sudden wave of regret, detective? Could he have had a hand in the hospitalization of Padre Cabal at Casa Verde? The stolen childhood, a life changed to the fight of another, and what's more, an unjust environment at the very heart of madness itself. Surely there were ample provocations to store even the faintest desire for homicide. Don't you agree, detective? We need to investigate further. Cabral is likely concealing even more sordid secrets. Could it be that Cabral was the one to assassinate me? Let's see. We'll find out. And so, detective, who is the one that brings us news to LeBeau's file? Oh, Ben. And what does this unpleasant character wrapped up in a cheap suit have to say? Lobo de Vez and Carla Cubas already fought, yes, but deep down it was because they used to think alike. They were always fighting over the same interests. What? Comparing me to that pathetic fool? Nonsense. To compare me, a great visionary, to a dimwit of a politician who keeps his post by robbing Peter to pay Paul? Oh well, what could we expect Ben to know? He was only my lawyer. Although he had access to a great deal of information about my life, as was required for his work, I certainly didn't tell him everything. For example, there were many secrets in my house that I had to keep for myself. But it's not me we are investigating here, detective. We're investigating Lobo Neves. Let us go back to Beanwood, always fighting over the same interests. It's true, Lobo and I were always at odds, constantly disputing something or other. I might even go so far as to say that in life, Lobo was my great rival. Not that he was ever a true match for me, mind you, but could Ben be hinting at a potential line of inquiry regarding Neves? Should we explore threads of our shared interests? Could their shared interests be enough to motivate Lobo to kill me? Well, detective, it seems we're on a right tack. Who will we succeed in ambushing this wolf in his own treacherous grounds? Go down, detective. The final clue to this inquiry is secured in this coward Lobo's claws. Well, we will. But first, I don't really want to talk to you. Yeah. That's fine. You always just go on too much, Bearz. And I want to do one extra day before I end this recording. So, because I've got a lot, and I don't really want to forget it too much anyway. Let's go to... Where did I want to go? Wanted to go to let's get a Lobo first, actually. Have a chat with him, buy some cheese bread, go to the house. Hopefully we can do that all fairly early on. Alrighty, Lobo. I would like to talk to you about a whole bunch of shit. That's for example, I'd like to know more about Dr. Bakabati, and something tells me you can tell me about him. Lobo Neves holds men of science in the highest regard. Science is the future, after all. Dr. Bakabati is a serious man, honest, competent, if only there were more like him. Do you know him well? I could know him better. I didn't always seize the opportunities to visit him at his institution, Casa Verde. Really? And you'd ever like to? Well, a politician wouldn't like to make private visitors to the most important members of his electorate, isn't that right? But I wouldn't want to trouble Dr. Bakabati. Scientists are distraught individuals. Sometimes they mistake their visit for the patient's. If you allow me, Mr. Lobo, I'd like you to tell me what you know about Ben, the lawyer. Ben Santiago? Sure, why not? Earning my respect as an easy young man, but I admire Ben greatly. Always as well placed as his own moustache and as prominent as his own chin. Have you worked together? I wish, but he always claimed to work exclusively for Bearz. Perhaps now that his main client is giving him a break, I might consider requesting his services. Right. Makes sense. And my investigation revealed that you opened a lawsuit against Bearz Cubas because of the Buzz, his newspaper, correct? And in this lawsuit, Bearz was defended by his usual lawyer, Ben. What can you tell me about this matter? People in Rio de Janeiro know me. I'm an honest, hard-working man. I don't like to appeal to the legal system, but I was forced to. I'd much rather solve things like a man. Anyway, the case remains confidential. I cannot share any more information with you. Right, okay. So that's a little bit of information that we've managed to get. I would like one cheese bread, please. Perfect, thank you. And let me exit. Let's go change to the key now. And then let's go to the house. Perfect. Yes, I am. I know it's a currency. I'm in. There we go. Beautiful. One key, por favor. Perfect. We're leaving now, thank you. Brilliant. Alrighty, now let's teleport across to said park. Then let's go to the Bearz mansion with the key. Let's grab the bust. Ben told me there could be something here. Aha, there is. Perfect. A keepsake of a lover. There was indeed. I don't know who that is. But we can ask people, I guess. Do we go and chat to Rubio now? And now that he's inside his house. Let's see what he can tell me about stuff. Let me interrogate you about the statement of the defense. I heard that Bearz was sued over one of his controversial publications. The defense lawyer blamed the negative influence of humanism. As you're the heir of this doctrine, you might as well tell me more about the case. Look, officer, I really like to help you out, but this role of heir is a bit too much for me. I'll let old Quintus here handle that. I must confess that I don't like to delve into humanism, as it messes up our head in a bad way. I don't doubt that Bearz and Quintus' tragic outcomes are related to humanism. What's the effect of humanism in your opinion? I don't know, officer, but they were too attached to this super friction thing. Superstition? Yes, you see, they believed in some kind of mirror that would awaken a true humanity. Of course, it never worked for me. What a crazy idea. I know, right? I've got it here, you can have it. Maybe you'll find a lunatic that can make sense of it. Ah, okay. Maybe we can talk to him when he's crazy about it. Potentially. It's like Bearz when he's, well, you know what I mean. When Rubio is pretending to be Bearz. Alrighty, let's knock on this door. Yes, I'm looking for you. Perfect, thank you. I would like to talk to you just for a minute. About some stuff. Perfectly, this lover. Let's talk about something compromising. Compromising? Is it something about me? Don't fake ignorance. What do you have to tell me about the photo you sent Bearz with the love confession? How did you find out? I'm not going to boast, but I'm very good at my job. This is a very serious matter. Tell me about you two. Oh my god, how embarrassing. Oh, whatever. There's no use in dragging out this lie. Yes, Bearz and I were living a secret romance for a long time. Secret? Are you sure? Absolutely. I mean, not completely. One person or another may have suspected. Would your husband be one of them? Lobo, oh no, please, don't tell him anything about this, please. I'm sorry, ma'am, but I need to know if your husband could have found out about the romance and committed an act of vengeance against Bearz. Let's make a deal. I'll tell you something personal about Lobo. I beg you, don't spare my affair with Bearz. This could end our lives. Let's do this. Give me the information. I promise to think about it. Lobo and Bearz were always competing, especially in politics. Bearz was one of the names listed for the state secretariat. However, it was removed at Lobo's request. Once I found the draft of a letter he sent the governor. In this letter, Lobo discredited Bearz's image because of his unpredictable attitudes. The creation of the Kiss newspaper, for example. Your Excellency, I'm writing to Your Excellency to express my deep and well-founded concerns regarding the recent conjecture of the nomination of the despicable Mr. Bearz Cubas for the relevant position of Secretary of State. The representation that precedes him is unfortunately notorious within our society, and his shortcomings have led to his permanent exclusion from our fraternity, and that, as Your Excellency well knows, demands deep reflection and unquestionable justification. His unqualified individual with a terrible track record. We don't want him around. In light of the circumstances, and I personally ask this with my heart, moved by the public interest in the success of your administration, I submit to your highest consideration the re-evaluation of such an appointment with the utmost respect for your authority, but with the indissoluble certainty that the choice of a Secretary of State must reflect irreproachable suitability and competence. With my highest regards of esteem and consideration, Lobo Neves, your attentive colleague. With that, Lobo decreed the death of Bearz political rookie. Oh god, that was a lot to read. Now please, keep your word. Yes, of course, Madame Virgilia. I'll do what I can. Did you have bad timing for a visit? I'm busy. Please come back at a more suitable time. That's fine. I know that Libo... Oh no, she goes to church, right? Let's run over to here. Quickly grab a taxi to the harbor. Yes. Let us make him think about the... Now, the number was 16, right? So let's make it 15. We've had this argument before, yes. Because he always looks at the number that he flips it to. So 15. We can see the stuff. We need to go grab the thing. The broom. Yoink. And yoink. Let's go. These seagulls remind me of the ones from Hoppers. Have you guys seen that movie? I have not, but it looks pretty good. Wouldn't mind seeing it, to be honest. Yeah, let's get these seagulls off. To get him thinking more about lions. Yeah, perfect. Alrighty, now let's see if this is enough to convince Lebo to bet on the lion. Let's talk to him as well, just in case. Because I might have not talked to him about everything yet. I have, okay, perfect. Alrighty, when does he pick up? It's like roughly around 6, right? Let's see, no one got hurt today. So 16 days with that. And this number corresponds to the lion, whatever, yeah. So it is, yeah. And here he's like, yo. Meet her at the mansion. I know so much fuss about a damn key. Right. But what a mess, this boss shouldn't be on the way. Is that a drawing of a lion? Yeah, okay, so it's thinking lion. And does he now go to the industrial block? Probably. Yes. Okay, so he just does go straight to the industrial block. Mr. Cockram, I have a guess for your bread that can go long. Bet on the lion and you'll come out with full pockets. And why would I trust a guy that looks like a cop? If you want to win the prize, you'll need to trust me. Believe me. So convince me not to bet on the donkey. Let's show the key, shall we? A key with a lion head. Why are you offering me this? Isn't it useful to you? Funny, my wife is looking for a key just like this one. I found it in the alley where Bearz was found dead. Then you can keep it, buddy. I'd rather she be furious at me than have the police find me with an incriminating object. You need to trust. Luck doesn't work like that. I need to see the signs to believe it. Nothing's happened so far that will make me change my mind. Signs? The donkey will be my lucky dude. The number of days without accidents at the harbour. Mr. Cockram, have you noticed the number of the days without accidents at the harbour? Of course I have. It seemed a little confusing from what I remember, but the count was 16 days. What animal does this number refer to? The lion, of course. This can't be a mere coincidence. Really? I'm not convinced yet. How about the key? The key I showed you earlier. Yes, that one. The same one my wife was looking for, I know. What animal head was it? Why, that of a lion. A lion. Can you see it? Luck is knocking at your door. That alone isn't enough to change your mind. What about the box with the picture of the lion? Do you remember having seen a box at the harbour? But of course, the scoundrel's always messing things up there. Did you notice what animal was stamped on it? Yes, I remember. It was a lion, right? See, this is your lucky animal, huh? Let's skip to the result. Are you convinced now? Well, I don't usually stop animals at the last minute. But what about the signs? They're all there, aren't they? Okay, you convinced me. I'll bet on the lion. You'd better be right, huh? Otherwise... I know. But if you win, I want to know about Chris's operations involving those molasses barrels. Okay, let's wait for the outcome. Interesting. We already have a result and the lion was drawn. Roar! Yes. Was the lion drawn? The lion was drawn! I won. The signs were there. I saw them. Get out of my way. I'll take my money and run. Okay, I'll do my part. I don't owe any explanations to that creep named Chris. Tell me about the molasses barrels. Why so much mystery? There must be a scam to deceive Bearz. Really? Chris is ambitious, or even more ambitious than Bearz. A betrayal would come from any of them. If you want to know more about this scam, go to Casa Verde. We're delivering orders linked to the scheme there. Are you taking the barrels there? Of course not. It was another type of order. What the heck, where is it? Did I leave it on my workbench? Oh, I found it. It's here. Use it, then put it back on my workbench at the harbour. A Casa Verde badge. I need to use it soon, before the day is over. Count me out. I'll live my life as a magnate and spend all this money. Don't come after me any longer. Only if you have a guess for tomorrow's animal. Well, I don't. I won't be right. Don't trust me. So we know that this comes on his workbench, right? That Casa Verde little thing. So we probably can go in here now. But we also need to get the Humanita mirror. And where do we get that from? We get it from Lobo. I work at the harbour. You're one of the suppliers, but you usually come very early. I must never show your credentials. You just come by saying that you have a delivery from Mr. Straw. So if that means I arrive and say that I work for Mr. Straw, can I get in? Yes, but now that you're pointing it out, it seems like a security flaw. Yes, it is. Very much so. Can I talk to Dr. Beckmarty first? Yes? Wait a minute, are you? You do have permission to be out of your room at this hour. I'm not a crazy person. I can go wherever I want, or can't I? No, I'm a detective. I'm investigating Bearz Cubas's murder. A detective, really? Mental note, illusion of being a private investigator. Possible DDD. Detective dissociative disorder? I don't think so. I am a detective. At least I thought I was. Yes, of course. You are what you say you are, detective. Despite that, Casa Verde's facilities are for the exclusive use of its patients and employees. And it is the fact that you're not an employee of an institution. I would have hired you myself following the procedures. So by elimination, you're one of our patients. Me? You're mistaken. I want to ask you a few questions. You're confusing me. Mental note, patient in a state of impatience. Approach, participate in illusion. Goal, collect information. Very well, detective, let's talk. I'm sure this conversation will be salutary for us both. Alrighty, let's interrogate first about Bearz Cubas. Dr. Beckmarty, it will help my investigation a lot if you would tell me about Bearz Cubas. Knowing your reputation, I imagine you'll have strong opinions about such a polemic figure. Opinions? A scientist doesn't have opinions, we only have hypotheses, confirmations, or refutations. About Bearz Cubas, I can confirm that he was a man rather eccentric, crazy. The opposite, Bearz Cubas was one of the most lucid men that I've had contact with. He had full awareness of who he was and what he wanted, no matter how much this displeased the people around him. His indelicate attack on my methods, detective, just like his ceaseless propaganda for an effective medicine, had a touch of dishonesty, it's true. Dishonesty? Wouldn't that be a character flaw? Deceitful character. Is it a flaw? I don't think so. We all wear masks, detective. Those of us who choose not to hide that we wear them are the most transparent and lucid of all. But, Doctor, how can I say it without offending? Are you sure about this line of reasoning? Considering Bearz to have a healthy personality is, at least to me, diagnosing the inhabitants of Rio de Janeiro. Mental note, patient copying his doctor's behavior. Approach, unmask him by testing his knowledge. Very well, detective, let us now do your job interview. If you answer my question correctly, you will get a job in my coveted institution. When we are looking for signs of medical maladjustment in the patient, what should be the first sign to look for? You should analyze their actions, right? The actions. And since when do we have control over our actions? It's clear that you have still much to learn about the winding ways of the human mind. What place to learn than here? Security, we have an employee. Take him to his room. We got locked up. How could we? Well, I suppose it's his words in that case. But we lost a lot of items. But we figured out a lot. When all of this began, I didn't expect you to encounter such difficulties. After all, isn't that what detectives do? Solve mysteries? Right. Let me have a look at this first. Even after crossing the same threshold, it still pains me to think about Princess Bulba. But why are we talking about him, Detective? What does the late princess have to do with our investigation? I don't need you to question the dead, but it's not like I have much to do around here. Go on then, entertain me. Whose statement is it this time? Bearz? I see. Rubiao was indeed Princess's pupil. If someone was to know more about Princess, that would be Rubiao. And what did he say? The same old nonsense? I don't doubt that Princess's tragic outcomes are related to humanitism. Not exactly. A revitalizing hypothesis, so might say. After all, both Quintus and I were indeed true humanists. Could it be possible that both of us have missed the same fate for our shared faith? But that alone wouldn't be enough to connect the deaths. Could it be that Quintus's disappearance and my demise are connected? If it were the case that this was the motive between my death, it wouldn't be the first time humanitism has placed me in such a difficult position. As you well know by now, Loban Neves once had the audacity to attack me with a lawsuit. My lawyer, Ben, also played his part and prepared our defense as he should. The only problem was that Ben argued my actions were of my own doing, but rather the dark influence of humanitism. There's no way on earth that humanitism public image as its followers would be discredited after that strategy. How could one not think about humanists as dangerous creatures, subject to uncontrollable influences after that? No, it is impossible to think of Princess as my assassin. He met his fate before me. But at the same time, I've never found him here. And both of us being humanists, we should have gone to the same place, wherever it is. Well done, Detective. I'll allow you to proceed with the investigation on Princess. I'm not certain we will uncover, but I trust your intuition. It has worked just fine up to now. If you have declared another statement of Princess Bulba, we'll talk. What about this other fact? Well, this is about Chris. Money changes people, doesn't it? Even more so when they're not used to it. You see firsthand the transformation of the ignoramus Cottram. All he had to do was get his hand on some bills of dubious sources, and then he abandoned his loyalty to his partner. And what did the idiot Cottram say? Chris is ambitious or even more ambitious than Bearz. A betrayal would have come from any of them. Oh, but that's for sure. Chris was one of mine. Although don't we have the same lineage, we had the same blood disposition. I mean, he still has it, doesn't he? It all started with the plaster. As you well know by now, Chris and I had a business to sell Miracle Tonic. Two intelligent men such as Chris and I were certainly capable of creating a compound that could dominate the market. After all, what would be on our way? But there was a bug in my ear. I knew that Chris's treacherous side would surface sooner or later, and it would do something to double-cross me. For example, those molasses barrels at the docks. What business did he have that needed so much sugar? True indeed. Did that have anything to do with our business? Could he be so shameless? Was he plotting? Was he fabricating our medicine with molasses? And how could he, in such conditions, get a deal with Casa Verde? Postrum is right about something. My relationship with Chris Straw could have never been more than an exchange of treachery and cheating. Could Chris let me dead just to retaliate the blows we exchanged in business? It's a very plausible hypothesis, if he believed he could get away with it. He didn't count on me having a detective on my side. And not just any detective, one created by my own. Ahem, let's forget about it. Isn't it true that Cottram gave you special access to Casa Verde? Yes, Detective, the ID. Cottram told us that this mixture he and the straw were making was for Casa Verde's supply, didn't he? Maybe make the most of the fact that he simply gave you the badge. Go and find out whatever you can. To determine how low Chris could go, we must go deep in this investigation, dig up all of his skeletons. I'm sure there are many. Well, that is going to... let's talk to him. My dear detective, or if you prefer player, I see we are advancing swiftly in this investigation of ours, and frankly I sense the end draws ever closer. Soon your excellency will return to your usual life, lulled by the sweet and fallacious illusion that you control your own fate. Do not worry though, I do not intend to spoil your fun. After all, who needs truth when one can have good stories? Proceed with your investigation and cover the mystery surrounding my death, and when all is said and done, remember that life is like a game, and we are all but pieces in a much greater board. Good luck. Okay, well, that's going to be the end now. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, or subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. See you.